everyone, welcome back to another tutorial. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to crochet this frog plushie. I post tutorials every week, so make sure to subscribe if you want more free crochet patterns. So the materials that you will need is a 5mm crochet hook or whatever crochet hook you want for your yarn, a yarn needle, scissors, some sort of yarn. I use Premier Parfait chunky yarn. And finally, safety eyes. I use 12mm. You will also need stuffing. So to start off, you're going to grab your yarn and you're going to do a slip knot. So how you're going to do this is you're going to wrap your yarn around your finger in an X and pull your yarn through. And you're going to tighten your slip knot, as I've done, and you're going to chain 2. Now, we're doing the 2-chain magic ring method. So basically your magic ring will be the first chain. So we're going to do 4 single crochets into this first chain. Then we're going to pull on the tail to close the magic ring. Now, as you can see, we have 4 single crochets in here. So now we're going to do 4 increases for the second round. So we're going to go into our first stitch of the last round. And then we're going to do an increase. And we're going to do 4 of those. Now for the next 3 rounds, we're going to single crochet all the way around. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to put my stitch marker in. I just used scrap yarn for a stitch marker, as you can see. Okay, so we're going to do 3 rounds. So now we have gone around 3 times. We're going to finish off this leg. So we're just going to pull the stitch marker out. I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail. Pull it through, and that's your first leg. And now we're going to do that again with the second leg. So the second leg is going to be the exact same process as the first leg. We're going to start off by doing 4 single crochets into the magic ring. So chain 2 and do 4 single crochets into the first chain. Now we're going to do 4 increases for round 2. Now we're going to pop the stitch marker back in, and we're going to once again single crochet round for 3 rounds. Okay, so once we have done the third round, what we're going to do is we're not going to finish off on this leg. Instead, we're going to put the stitch marker through the last stitch of that round. And then we are going to grab our first leg that we crocheted. And we are going to chain 2 from this leg. So basically we're going to be connecting the legs. So we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and now we're going to grab our first leg. So when connecting the legs, we're going to single crochet around leg 1, single crochet back into the chains that we just did, and then single crochet around leg 2 so that they're connected. So to make it more even, I like to put my hook in on this side when crocheting into this leg so that it sort of evens out this part. So I'm going to put my hook into this. We've just done the 2 chains, and we're going to do a single crochet. And now we're going to continue single crocheting all the way around leg 1. When you get to this bit where it goes down, it's really simple. You just single crochet into the one below. Just keep going around as if it's even. Okay, so now we are back at the chains. So as you can see, there are holes in the chains that we can single crochet into. So we should only be doing 2 single crochets into the chains as there's only 2 chains. So this hole right here, we're going to go into. Just try and get your hook through. See, we're in the chain, and we're just going to do a single crochet. And then the next chain along. Just try and sort of get your hook in there. It might be a little bit difficult. It's okay if it's not perfect. And do another single crochet. Now, you can see where your stitch marker is. We're going to go round the leg so that we get back to the stitch marker. So we're going to go into this stitch here. So see, this stitch doesn't have anything in it, doesn't have any chains connected into it. We're going to go into there, and we're going to single crochet round this leg. And now we're back to the stitch marker. So congratulations, you've just completed the most difficult part of the pattern, so you're past that, which is good. We're going to have to single crochet into this side of the 2 chains. So we're single crocheting, we've already single crocheted on one side of the 2 chains, and we're going to single crochet into those 2 chains from this side. I'm just going to move the stitch marker up first. So now you see the chains here. We're just gonna pop our hook in like that and single crochet. Then we're gonna pop our hook in the next bit. Oh, there we go. And single crochet. Now we're going to go back round both of the legs. So after this point, it gets a lot easier because now the legs are like properly connected. Okay, so that is the end of round 7. Moving our stitch marker up. I would just like to point out that at this point, if you have any holes between the legs, that is okay. You can sew them up sort of when you've finished the body if you like, or any point you like. Just bring your needle down with some yarn and you can fix it up. So for round 8, we're going to do 2 increases and then 18 single crochets. So we're just increasing into those first 2 stitches here. So 1 increase, 2 increases, and now we're just simply going to single crochet round just like we've been doing. Okay, so you've just completed round 8. So for rounds 9 to 12, we're just going to single crochet round for all of those. So we're single crocheting for 4 rounds now. So each round should have 22 stitches. So yeah, let's go for it. Just single crochet round 4 times. Okay, so now we have reached the end of those 4 rounds. So we're going to move on to round 13. So for round 13, we will be doing decrease, then 4 single crochets times 2. And then we're going to be doing decrease 2 single crochets, decrease 4 single crochets. Obviously that's like a bit complicated to say out loud, but I will have it on the screen for you to read, and I'm going to say what I'm doing aloud as I go around. So first of all, we're going to start with a decrease. So go through the loops, pull through the yarn, go through the next loop, pull through the yarn, and then pull through all 3 loops. And then we're going to do 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to do decrease again, and then 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. And don't worry if you're not going as fast as me, obviously. You can slow down the video, you can pause the video, whatever you need. Then we're going to do a decrease. Two single crochets. 1, 2. Another decrease. And then 4 single crochets. Okay, after that, for the final round of the body, we are just going to do single crochet decrease times 6. So we're just going to go single crochet decrease all the way around. So once you're all done with that round, you can take the stitch marker out, and that is the whole body complete. So we don't have to leave a tail, because we're going to leave a tail when we do the head to sew that on. So we're just going to cut this off. You can leave a longer tail if you need to sew up holes down here, that's fine. Pull that through and we can stuff later, but here is the body. So good job on completing that, and let's move on to the head. So for the head, we are also going to start with a magic ring, but we are going to do 6 single crochets into that magic ring. So you're going to do a slip knot first of all. I also love this color. It's so pretty, you know, the pastel color. Anyway, then we're going to do 2 chains. Then we're going to do 6 single crochets into this first chain. For the next round, we're going to be doing 6 increases so that we have 12 stitches in total. So once you have completed that round, we're going to pull the stitch marker through. And round 3 is single crochet increase times 6. So single crochet increase all the way around. For round 4, we're going to do 2 single crochets increase times 6. Okay, so the camera did just cut out for 2 rounds, but don't worry because I'm going to tell you what those 2 rounds were. So after you've completed the 2 single crochet increase round, we're going to move on to 3 single crochets increase times 6. So all the way around, you're going to do 1, 2, 3 single crochets and then an increase. And you're going to do that 6 times until the round is completed. And then you should have 30 stitches. So pause the video while you do that, and I'm going to tell you the next rounds. So once you've completed that round, we're going to move on to the single crocheting for several rounds. So basically from round 6 to 10, we're just going to single crochet round. So we're going to single crochet for 5 rounds. So just all the way around. And as you can see, I've already done a few rounds and I'm almost onto my final round of single crocheting. So yeah, 5 rounds of single crocheting. So as you can see, we have come to the end of the final round of the 5 rounds of single crocheting. So we're just going to move our stitch marker up. And now we're going to move on to the decreasing. So for the first round of decreases, we're going to do single crochet decrease times 10. So single crochet decrease, and we're going to do that 10 times all the way around. So for the final round, we are going to be doing a decrease single crochet, 2 decreases single crochet, 2 decreases single crochet, and another 2 decreases single crochet, and then a decrease to finish off. And obviously that's a little complicated to say out loud, so it's going to be written at the top of the screen. Okay, so that was the last round for the head, so we're going to take the stitch marker out. This is what the head should look like. And we're going to leave a tail for sewing. So I always leave extra tail that is unnecessary because I have a bad habit like that. But I'll try and leave the right amount this time. That's probably way too much, but yeah, that's definitely way too much. But if you just do a little bit less than that, and then pull it through. We're just going to add some stuffing to this, but we'll stuff it properly later. Now we're just going to do the eyes. So we'll grab our yarn again. Okay, so we're going to do a slip knot, and we'll do our magic ring again. And we're going to do 4 single crochets into that magic ring. So chain 2. 4 single crochets into that first chain. And now for the next round, we're going to do 4 increases, and then we should have 8 stitches after the next round. And then we're just going to single crochet for 2 rounds. So we're going to do 8 single crochets twice, all the way around. So after we've done that, we are just going to leave a bit of a tail for sewing. And we're going to pull through to finish off. We're going to put that aside, and we're going to make another one exactly like that. So grab your yarn again. Make another magic ring. 4 single crochets into that magic ring. And then we're going to do 4 increases. And then we're going to single crochet for 2 rounds once again. Okay, so we're just gonna cut off the end once we've done that, leave a tail for sewing. Pull through. So now we're just gonna put the eyes onto the eyes, as in the safety eyes. So we'll grab our safety eyes. And then we're gonna find a spot pretty much right in the middle of our eyes, like this. And we're gonna attach the safety eyes there. That might have been a little bit low, but pretty much, yeah. So then attach this one. Okay, so that's all good. So then we'll put these aside, and now we're going to make the arms, and then we can move on to all the sewing together. Okay, so for the arms, we are going to make our magic ring. And we're going to do 4 single crochets into that magic ring, so into that first chain. Pull tight. We're going to do 4 increases for the next round. Then we're going to put our stitch marker in, and we're going to single crochet for 2 rounds. So we're going to single crochet 8 for 2 rounds. And now we're going to do 2 single crochets and a decrease times 2. And for the final 3 rounds, we are just going to single crochet for 3 rounds straight. So it's 6 stitches at the moment, so we'll just go around 3 times into those 6 stitches. Okay, so once you've made a background, we're going to pull the stitch marker out and we're going to leave a tail for sewing once again. So grab your yarn once again. Going to do 4 single crochets into your magic ring. Pull tight. We're going to do 4 increases for the next round. Then we're going to put our stitch marker in and we're going to single crochet for 2 rounds. So we're going to single crochet 8 for 2 rounds. And now we're going to do 2 single crochets and a decrease times 2. And for the final 3 rounds, we are just going to single crochet for 3 rounds straight. So it's 6 stitches at the moment, so we'll just go around 3 times into those 6 stitches. Okay, so after you've finished that, we're going to leave a tail for sewing. We're going to cut it off and we're going to pull through the tail. Now we're just going to stuff like everything, so grab your stuffing. Okay, so I've got a lot of stuffing here, probably slightly excessive, but we will grab our head and finish stuffing that from before. Just make sure it's really stuffed. And then we're going to grab our body and stuff the little legs first, because otherwise they'll be harder to stuff at the end. And then stuff the body. So that's all stuffed. And then we're going to stuff the arms. This might be a little bit difficult because it's so tight, but just try and get some stuffing into it. You don't need that much stuffing for the arms. Okay, that's all good. And now we get to move on to sewing. So grab your yarn needle and grab your head and your body. And we're basically just going to sew these 2 on top of each other. They have the same amount of stitches, so it will be like super easy to sew. And we're going to put our tail into the yarn needle and we're just going to start sewing on the head. So we're going to put it into here like this. There's not really a specific technique to sew, just make sure that it is neat and make sure that it is secure. And then we'll go back into the head, back into the body. And we just keep doing that process of going across 2 stitches in the head and then 2 stitches in the body. And then once you're happy with that, just do your final stitch and just bring it to a random point in the head or body. And then we're just going to cut it off, just like that. Okay, so there you go. The head is now sewed to the body. Next, we're going to do the eyes. So it's up to you whether you add stuffing in the eyes. I might just add like a tiny little bit. It's a little bit unnecessary because it's already got the safety eye sort of providing some sort of support inside. So decide your positioning for the eyes. This is what I want mine to be. And now we're just gonna put the left eye aside and start on the right eye. And I'm gonna get the position that I want and just sew into it, just like this. This one's a little tricky to sew, so I might go off camera a tiny bit. Sorry if I do. I'm just gonna go around and sew into sort of each stitch like this. Then we sew into the next stitch. And then it should look like this. And I'm just going to take the tail and just take it to a random place at the back of the head, and afterwards we'll tie it up with the other tail from the other eye. Just like this. Easy. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other eye. So it's kind of hard to get them at the exact same point. You might struggle a little bit, that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect unless you want it to be perfect, obviously. And then once you've done that, you're going to bring this tail to the same place where the other tail is. And then we're just going to tie these two together. Triple knot. And then we're just going to cut about here. I'm going to poke that inside. Now we have the two eyes on, and now we're going to sew the arms on. So grab your yarn needle once again, and the arms should be pretty quick to sew on. I want my arm to be about here, so I'm just going to stick the needle sort of in between the head and the body. Bring it through, back into the arm, bring it through the arm, back into the body. And sort of just to keep doing that. And then same deal as the eyes, just bring it back to some random point in the back of the body. And we'll sew the other arm on. So just put it in between the head and the body. Back into the arm. And then bring it back to that same point on the back of the body. Tie them in a knot, or double knot or triple knot. Cut it off. And then poke that inside. So now we're just going to embroider the smile or facial expression. This part's optional, and also depends on what sort of facial expression you would like on your frog. So grab your worsted weight black yarn if you have any. This is what we'll be using for the smile. I'm just going to bring it in through the side, and I'm going to try and find the center of the head. So it should be about there. I want to go to about there. Okay. So we're just going to bring it to about here. So we're going to do the first part of the V for the smile. And then we're going to bring it to the center. And then we'll bring it back up here. Just see if I can finish off the smile, and if it doesn't look good, that's fine, we'll adjust it. And then we'll bring it back to this point. So I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to cut off the yarn over here, and I'm going to do a double knot or triple knot once again. And then we'll just cut it off a little bit, and then we'll poke it inside. So yeah, that is your frog completed. You can use pink yarn to add blush if you like. I'm not going to add blush on mine. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe if you did. I'm going to be posting more tutorials very often, and I have other ones on my YouTube channel already as well. I also have this written pattern on Etsy. If you want the written pattern, it will be in the link in the description. But thank you so much for watching. Bye.